We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. I am Van, and we are all the LFR family. Good morning to you all. Hopefully you had a moment to give God all praise, glory, and honor just for waking you up this morning, starting you on your way, giving you strength to make it to another day. Thank God for his grace and for his mercy. Shout out to Shoemaker, Lisa Marie. All my blues are in the building per usual. Now, I do realize this is pretty early for the LFR family, but something that we're going to try to do is give y'all something early in the morning while you're drinking your coffee and your tea and eating your eggs and your bacon and your turkey sausages. Stay away from the pork, from the swine, all right, because of Ramadan. A lot of y'all probably don't even celebrate, but hey, listen, neither do I. But we're going to keep it pushing, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button. That will be absolutely appreciated. Today, we're going to go over a couple of things. We're going to talk about how the U.S. court orders the White House to restore access to the AP journalists. We're also going to talk about how there was a deadly mass shooting in Spotsylvania County in VA. That right there is something that y'all probably don't want to hear about very early, but guess what? We're going to touch on it because it's important. All right. We're also going to talk about how the IRS acting commissioner is resigning over a deal to send immigrants tax data to ICE. So yeah, there's going to be a resignation going on. All right. And we're also going to talk about the Supreme Court blocking order requiring Trump administration to reinstate thousands of federal workers. Do me a favor again and hit that like a button. All right. And shout out to you all. You know what? Before I even move forward, I just want to say this, man. Shout out to Treebeard. Shout out to Treebeard for introducing this segment to me. We're working together in this project to see how it goes for you guys who are driving to work or who are at work or doing something early in the morning, and you might want to listen to my sultry, amazing voice while you're doing your thing. And yawning because I don't know how many of y'all are morning people. I'm certainly not. All right, let's go and jump into our first story. All right, so from the BBC, this journal right here comes from the BBC. All right, and it says a U.S. judge has ordered the Trump administration to restore the Associated Press's access to presidential events after the White House blocked the news agency in a dispute over the term Gulf of America. District Judge Trevor McFadden on Tuesday said the administration's restriction on AP journalists was contrary to the First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of speech. The dispute arose when the AP refused to adopt the administration's renaming of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America in its coverage, following an executive order by President Donald Trump. And the ban has meant that the AP has been unable to access press events at the White House as well as Air Force One. Judge McFadden, who was appointed by Trump during his first term, also paused the ruling's implementation until Sunday to allow administration's lawyers time to appeal. The court simply holds that under the First Amendment, if the government opens its doors to some journalists, be it to the Oval Office, the East Room, or elsewhere, it cannot then shut those doors to other journalists because of their viewpoints, he wrote in his ruling. The Constitution requires no less. The AP had argued that the administration violated the news agency's constitutional right to free speech by restricting access due to disagreements over language. In February, Judge McFadden had declined to immediately restore its access to presidential events. After Tuesday's rulings, AP spokesperson Lauren Easton said the agency was gratified by the court's decision. Today's ruling affirms the fundamental right of the press and public to speak freely without government retaliation. This is a freedom guaranteed for all Americans in the U.S. Constitution, she said in a statement. The ruling was also welcomed by other organizations who had criticized the initial restriction on the AP. This is a careful, well-reasoned opinion that properly describes the exclusion of the Associated Press from the press pool as retaliatory, viewpoint-based, and unconstitutional, said Jamil Jaffer, the executive director at the Knight First Amendment Institute at Columbia University. The AP sued 3 senior Trump administration officials, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and Deputy Chief of Staff Taylor Budowich, claiming the restrictions were unlawful and infringed on press freedom. The Trump administration argued that the Associated Press was not entitled to special access to the president. Soon after taking office in January, the Trump administration issued an executive order renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, a move the White House said reflects the Gulf's status as an indelible part of America. The AP said it will continue to use the term Gulf of Mexico while acknowledging the Trump administration's efforts to rename it. In response, the White House restricted the AP's access to events covered by the pool of journalists who report back to other media outlets. I think that this whole thing is silly. If the president says it's going to be Gulf of America, then call it Gulf of America, AP. Call it Gulf of America. You know what I mean? Like Papa Naya Shelley was on Papa Naya. AP is allowed access, but not special access. Nobody should be allowed special access. But guess what? What's up, Katarina? So that's where we are right now. That was the first story. I thought that joint went well, Treebeard, but I think it's all silly. Let me go and put this to the side right here so I can sip my tea a little bit. I did a whole lot of reading before 8:30. I usually don't say big words before noon. So give me a moment as I cover these topics. And again, guys, thank y'all so much for pulling up. Twitch invisible to Van. No, Twitch not invisible. I can still see Twitch, but thank you so much for pulling up. Tanton79, Twitch is not invisible to me. All right, hold on one second. And shout out to AP for fighting the good fight, because I don't have an issue with them wanting to be able to not have to say what Trump wants them to say, and still fighting to be inside the room so that they can have their exclusive takes and interview them. So it is what it is. I really don't give a damn. You know what I mean? Whether they win or not. It's a small win for AP, and it's a small win for America. If we're going to keep this going and people can say whatever they want to say or not say whatever they want to say, I don't mind, to be honest with you. I really don't mind. All right. So, second news, our second bit of news that we're going to cover is, how did that go, Treebeard? How did that go, brother? All right, for our second joint we're covering is, hold on one second. Let me look at my notes. All right, because this is a first take, guys. And remember, this is early in the morning. This is a lot for a brother, but I'm going to get through it. We're going to get through it together. All right, so the second one we're covering is the mass shooting in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. All right, thoughts and prayers to everybody involved. Apparently, there was 3 people who were unalived and 3 people who are, I guess, hold on, let me just read the daggone article so I ain't got to do no guessing at all. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me put myself over here. Okay. Let me take a sip, man. This is wild. This is wild, guys. And guys, please make sure y'all hit the like button. And I'm reading my comments over to the right, and it does show me if the comments are coming in from YouTube and from Twitch. So good morning, Tanton79. Shout out to my Twitch fam. Shout out to my YouTube fam. Y'all are absolutely phenomenal. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. All right. All right. For this one right here, this story is there was a new video. This new video shows men with guns following deadly mass shooting in Spotsylvania County. All right. Trigger warning. For some strange reason, whenever YouTube sees guns, whether it's police holding them or not, they try to yellow mark our videos. So I try not to show too many of those. But before we go ahead and show the video, let me just tell y'all exactly what happened. So 3 people were unalived and 3 others were injured in a shooting in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. The shooting was reported in the area of Old Greenwich Circle around 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. Officials say they do not know the ages of the victims at this time. The video sent to Fox 5 by a witness shows 2 possible suspects walking with guns in the area. I believe this is the video, right?
More boxes, more options. Grainger has over 1,700 box types in stock and ready to help you pack, store.
This.
At 10, an update on the breaking news that we've been following all night long. At least 6 people shot, 3 of them dead in a Spotsylvania County neighborhood.
And because of that shooting, we've just learned Fredericksburg City Schools will be on a 2-hour delay tomorrow. So why is this all connected? Let's get you out to Fox 5 Nana St. Bones, who she's live in Fredericksburg. And Nana, you've been there all night long. What's the latest?
Hey, Jim and Angie, good evening. I'll tell you, this is still a very active scene. Deputies are actually, they just expanded the scene right here, pushed us back a little bit. But this is the area of Old Greenwich Circle. This is where Spotsylvania Sheriff's Office says a number of people opened fire, killing 3 and injuring several others. We had a chance to speak with a witness who lives in the neighborhood. She was coming home from work when she heard the gunshots.
When I was coming down the hill, I was looking forward, and then I saw like about 3 or 4 individuals, and then I heard it and I saw bullets going everywhere, like they were kind of going at each other. Then I saw some run off down the road, and then after a little bit they started walking back, still holding their big guns. And then they started walking back up the hill. Then they cut off in between the townhouse and like ran back there, and then that's when the first officer arrived on scene.
Now, on your screen is cell phone video a viewer shared with Fox 5 DC. You can see 2 people holding what appears to be long guns walking down the street. And moments later, that street turned into a crime scene. Caution tape blocking neighbors from getting into their homes, and deputies with their weapons drawn running into this wooded area. The sheriff's office says around 5:30, they received a number of calls about a shooting in this community. When they arrived, they found 3 dead on scene and 3 others were rushed to the hospital. Right now, it is unclear if the suspects or even the victims lived in the area. We are still waiting to find out their ages and conditions.
This is probably as bad as it could get, with at least 6 people being shot right now. It's been a stressful 24 hours.
Now, a couple of things tonight. The sheriff's office is telling us that at least 6 people were shot this afternoon during this incident, meaning that there could be more victims. There's also video going around of deputies detaining 2 men right now that the sheriff's office is not connecting to the shooting, but they do tell me they are talking and interviewing people. Right now, the community is asked to stay away from this area. Fredericksburg City Schools announced a delay opening for tomorrow's citing the profound impact the shooting has had on members of its school community. And guys, hours later, still very active. Not too sure if I got to point this out earlier. There's evidence markers on the ground right now. You have sheriff's deputies, detectives still taking pictures, trying to figure out what exactly took place here. This is also a multi-agency investigation. So Virginia State Police is here. Again, everyone is asked to stay indoors, but if you know anything, you're asked to call 911. Guys.
All right. So just to recap, on yesterday about 5:30 p.m., 6 people were shot. Apparently they had a little shootout.
Find your part.
Let me move this. Hold on one second. This stuff is still playing. Okay. So apparently these youngers think that it's sexy to be out there doing gangster stuff, and y'all, we saw the video of them walking down the street. These youngers look like they never worked out a day in their life. They look like they look like they had bodies of little girls, walking down the street with big ass guns, going to commit some crime, going to live out their little gangster fantasies, and or their civil war fantasies, whatever the case may be. And they're just going to shoot each other. One thing I will say is this: I'm thankful that they're shooting each other. I'm just going to keep it a buck. If you're going to shoot at anybody, you keep regular citizens out the way. I mean, make sure that you don't shoot into the windows or into the homes of innocent victims. I mean, of innocent people, and you just keep it amongst your little dumb selves. They obviously don't know what jail is like. They clearly don't know what hell is like, but they're willing to play and find out. And to that, I say good riddance. I hope every single last one of y'all who are involved find exactly what you're looking for. So this was in Spotsylvania County, Virginia. This was not no blue state in the hood or nothing like this. It seemed to be in probably a middle class area in Virginia, and youngins are playing cops and robbers. I don't know what the hell is going on. All I do know is that the suspects are still at large. Authorities have not apprehended any of them. And with Scott indicating during the press conference, the shooting may involve more than one perpetrator, which we have seen 2 people walking down the street with them weapons. I don't know what type of guns they are. I'm not really a gun guy. You know what I mean? I have a couple of my own, but I can't just look at a gun and say, oh, they're carrying around an AR-15. They carrying around this. They carrying around an AK. I don't give a daggone. All I do know is that they don't work for the police. They're not supposed to be outside with them. They had on their punk ass masks so that they not get caught. But if you're willing to commit the crime, you better be willing to accept what comes with it, because 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna get caught. Y'all gonna get caught. And looking at the build of these guys who are doing all of the shooting, you're gonna end up being somebody's bitch inside of jail, and you're not gonna enjoy that too much. So go ahead and start doing your squats and your burpees right now, and your push-ups right now, and whatever exercises you can, so that you have to deal with them grown men that you're gonna have to be in a tight cell with for the next 20 years of your life when you get caught. Because it's not if. There's cameras everywhere. There's literally cameras everywhere. You're going to be found. You're going to be arrested. And you're going to have to go into a prison cell and protect your back pockets. All right? So when somebody come into your cell and they hand you like a oatmeal cream pie or a honey bun or some chips or some free noodles, just know that ain't nothing free. Ain't nothing free. Hold on one second. What is this? Old Greenwich, where it occurred, is known to not be a safe neighborhood. Lots of drugs run through that area. So I guess that's like the hood area of VA, I guess, supposedly. Even still, these brothers ain't gangster, man. I mean, regardless, I don't care if it's a bad neighborhood and they beefing with their ops, and it's time to go shoot it out and shoot them up, bang, bang. Okay, they still gonna get caught. They look like some wimps walking down the damn street with their guns. Y'all seen the video. I ain't even gonna show it again because I don't want to be flagged, but y'all seen it. I mean, I'm a skinny guy too, but come on, man. Them guys look like they ain't ever seen the inside of a gym at all. Look like they were struggling to carry the guns. So that's my point of view on it. On to other news. All right. The next story we're going to be talking about is how the IRS acting commissioner is resigning over deal to send immigrants tax data to ICE. All right, so this is what's going on. The acting IRS commissioner, Douglas O'Donnell, resigned on April 8th, 2025, yesterday, after 38 years of service, following the finalization of an agreement to share immigrants' tax data with Immigration and Customs Enforcement to aid in identifying and deporting undocumented individuals. Now, the deal marks a historic shift, allowing ICE to access confidential taxpayer information, such as names and addresses filed under individual taxpayer identification numbers, reversing decades of IRS assurances that such data would remain private, even for undocumented immigrants who file taxes. Now, the agreement aligns with President Trump's pledge to execute the largest mass deportation in U.S. history, which has already started to go down. Y'all already know this brother is doing exactly what he said, with ICE now able to cross-reference tax records to locate immigrants with final removal orders, a move driven by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and acting ICE Director Todd Lyons. Now, this decision sparked significant backlash within the IRS, with career officials warning it could erode trust in the tax system, potentially reducing the $97 billion in annual tax revenue from undocumented immigrants, and up to 50 senior IT staff were placed on leave in late March 2025 for opposing the plan. Now, immigrant rights group, the immigrant rights groups, like two in Chicago that sued the Treasury Department in March 2025, argued the deal violates federal privacy laws, which is in, I guess, section 6103 of the tax code, while public sentiment on X reflects fears of overreach, with lawsuits pending as of April 9th, including a hearing set for April 16th. Woo! That was a lot. That was a lot, bro. And yes, they are protecting illegals. Here's the thing: when you have people like AOC and others, and well, the whole Biden administration, you know, they all about protecting the illegal immigrants, but because that's how they were going to build their nation, build their new nation, and make more babies, because they can't depend on us to pump and sweat no more and put out some Americans, more Americans. Get out there and make some babies. While y'all are watching this stream, hopefully you are also making more American babies. That's probably not what you're doing while you're watching this stream, but I'm just saying that's why they think that we need more people who will be more dedicated to vote Democrat than Republicans. So they're trying to protect them. So yeah, they are trying to protect the illegals as much as possible. Hold on one second, man. Hold on, what? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking at what my private chat says. So yeah, let me read some of these comments because I'm all over the place this morning. All right, so she probably quit because there are illegals on benefits. That simple. Okay, possibly. Where I live, their town next to me, where they sell Social Security numbers to illegals. Well, we covered a story about that last week, where not only were they were selling their access, they were selling, what was they selling? People, American citizens, would rent vehicles or would have vehicles and rent them to illegal immigrants so that they can drive Uber and Lyft through them. And as far as the Social Security numbers are concerned, I don't know how in the world they were using that, to be honest with you. I know I covered the story. It wasn't interesting enough for me to even remember or recall, to be honest with you. I should have gone back over it a few times so that I can be interested in even more. But what I do know is that we were into some serious illegal sugar honey iced tea by putting these illegal immigrants in position so that they could potentially vote. And some of them were voting, but they were getting work permits. Obviously, they were getting jobs under the table and shelter, money in their pockets, everything American citizens actually want. And apparently they're doing what they possibly can to protect them again. So I ain't got no issue with it. Let them fight their good fight. Some people are going to win, some are going to lose. But either way, the Trump administration will prevail because they're strong arm in everything they're doing. And I keep on looking at this private chat. Treebeard, bruh, he keep on giving me more information. All right, so how's it going so far, guys? This is the morning show. Like, this is going to be different. This is just an example of what's going to be happening in the morning show. Let me know if this is interesting to you by putting up a thumbs up, and let me know putting up a thumbs down like, nah, Van, this ain't it, bro. I want y'all to be extremely honest with me because moving forward, I want to make sure I give y'all what y'all want. It's no longer about Van. It's no longer about Van at all. It's about the LFR family as a whole. And I want to make sure that y'all get something substantive and you receive something that you could potentially share with other people. And I want this to be that. All right. So, yeah, I am up early, Shane. I'm up real early. Shout out to Treebeard. Treebeard is the reason why I'm up so daggone early. All right. So, again, the IRS acting commissioner is resigning. Yeah. My gracious. Woo. Brother, how's it going so far, Tree? How's it going, brother? I'm looking inside the private chat right now, man. How's it going, brother? Maybe not quite so early. I'm up early anyways. Van, why your ass up so early? Van, you're better than the Breakfast Club in the morning. Rather listen to you. Man, screw the Breakfast Club. Screw the Breakfast Club, bro. Like, I mean, well, don't screw them. Don't screw them. Don't screw them at all. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Supreme Court blocks order requiring Trump's administration to reinstate thousands of federal workers. Now, this one right here, I think is interesting. This one right here is interesting because we already know that Trump can do whatever he can do anything within his executive privileges. He's doing a damn good job. He's already written 111 executive orders. He's keeping all of his promises that he made to his voters. We saw on CNN where they said 47% of our country have voted in a poll. The 47% of the people that voted on the CNN poll says that Trump has too much power, but then 53% of America says that he has the amount that he needs, like just the good enough amount, or he don't have enough power. So 17% of people said that he don't have enough power. So overall, 53% of the people voted and says, nah, he's just fine, or he needs more power. Well, he's making decisions. He's saying, look, we're going to trim the fat. We're going to cut the fat a little bit. We're going to do exactly what I said I was going to do in my first term, which is drain the swamp. He's not doing anything that much different with regard to getting rid of certain departments and making sure that he trimmed the fat. He's not doing that much different than what Obama did by getting rid of hundreds of thousands of jobs. Clinton did by getting rid of hundreds of thousands of jobs. So he's doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing. All right. So as the story goes, let me go ahead and pull it up so you guys can see it, so you guys can have something to look at, because I know that any optics on the screen other than my beautiful face is helpful. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, so the Supreme Court blocks order requiring Trump administration to reinstate thousands of federal workers. Tuesday, On Tuesday of March 8th, yesterday, the Supreme Court blocked an order for the Trump administration to return to work thousands of federal employees who were let go in mass firings aimed at dramatically downsizing the federal government. The justices acted in the administration's emergency appeal of a ruling by a federal judge in California ordering that 16,000 probationary employees at 6 federal agencies be reinstated while a lawsuit plays out because their firings didn't follow federal law. The court's order involved a technical legal assessment of the right or standing of several nonprofit associations to sue over the firings. Justices Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson said they would have kept the judge's order in place. It's the third time in less than a week that the judges have sided with the Republican administration in its fight against the federal judges who have ordered, whose orders have slowed President Donald Trump's agenda. The court also paused an order restoring grants for teacher training and lifted an order that froze deportations under an 18th century wartime law. But as with the earlier orders, the effect of Tuesday's order will be limited. Many employees at the agencies will remain on paid administrative leave for now because of an order in a separate lawsuit over the firings. The second suit, filed in Maryland, involves employees at those same 6 agencies, plus roughly a dozen more. That order is more limited in that it applies only in the 19 states and the District of Columbia that sued the administration. The Justice Department is separately appealing the Maryland order. All right, at least 24,000 probationary employees have been terminated since Trump took office, the lawsuit claims, though the government has not confirmed the number. The coalition of organizations and labor unions that sued said it was disappointed with the court's order, but it said the battle is far from over. There is no doubt that thousands of public service employees were unlawfully fired in an effort to cripple federal agencies and their crucial programs that serve millions of Americans every day, the coalition said in a statement. U.S. District Judge William Alsup in San Francisco ruled that the terminations were improperly directed by the Office of Personnel Management and its acting director. He ordered rehiring at the Departments of Veteran Affairs, Agriculture, Defense, Energy, the Interior, and the Treasury. Out of all of those, I'm gonna let y'all know, out of all those, it would be amazing if Department of Defense could bring back their people. I just want Department of Defense to bring back their people, and that's for my own selfish reasons. I ain't even gonna go into it. All right. It ain't about my kids who got probationary jobs at Department of Defense, but I would like for them to get their monions. I would like for them to get their money. All right. U.S. District, let me see, Alsup, the U.S. District Judge, who was nominated by Democratic President Bill Clinton, expressed frustration with what he called the government's attempt to sidestep laws and regulations by firing probationary workers with fewer legal protections. He said he was appalled that employees were told they were being fired for poor performance despite receiving glowing evaluations just months earlier. The administration has insisted that the agencies themselves directed the firings, and they have since decided to stand by those terminations. Solicitor General D. John Sawyer told the court. So, yeah, they are returning. They are going to go ahead and back Trump. They're going to go ahead and say 16,000 of those people who were released, they're going to remain released until we take it to the lower court and see what happens. All right. Let me see. Yeah. All right. So they're backing Trump. I saw something yesterday on on that same thing. Let me see. Hold on one second, because I ran across a story yesterday on that same thing, just letting us know that Trump is getting some wins under his belt. He's definitely getting some wins under his belt. Yeah. Hold on one second. I'm pulling this bad boy up right now because I just now shared this to my let me see. Here we go, right here. Boom. And you already know it was actually reported by CNN, and CNN do not like to share anything positive that happens on the Trump administration. Y'all check this out. Let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments. Don't forget, gang, hit the like button if you have not already. That's the only price of admission for our live streams, is to simply hit the like button. And if you're listening to me while you're driving, make sure you're looking at the road. Do not look at your phone. All right. You can see my pretty face later. Yes, you can. And also, we're still looking at, can you put that back on the screen? The whole, the fifth point of the courts blocking Trump. Beard, thank you so much, big dog. I really appreciate it. All right, so check this out right here.
We start, though, with breaking news at the Supreme Court. It just handed President Trump another win, allowing his administration to fire hundreds of probationary federal workers. I want to get straight to Paula Reed, who was looking through the decision. Paula, what did they say?
So, Dana, this is a significant win for the administration, the fourth one that they have notched from the Supreme Court in just the past few days. Here, this decision is focused on thousands of fired probationary federal workers. Now, this decision will allow the government to keep those individuals off the payroll, while the larger questions about these firings are litigated. Now, this was decided not on a constitutional issue or really on the merits. It was decided on something called standing, which is whether the individuals who brought this lawsuit had the right to do so. And here the court says that the 9 nonprofit organizations did not have standing in this case. So again, this is sort of a technical win, but it is still a win for the administration, though it's unclear how this will apply to all fired probationary workers, because a separate judge in Maryland earlier this month ordered a pause and a reinstatement of some employees that are not covered by this case. But I do want to say, Dana, the Justice Department, the Trump administration, they've been waiting for a while for good news from the courts after a string of losses, and they have been getting a lot of good news from the high court over the past few days.
She didn't have to say that. She didn't have to say after a string of losses. She didn't have to say that. She tried to carry it like, she tried to act like Trump has been losing so much, and they just could not wait for one win, and they finally got one. So yay to you guys. I don't know if y'all noticed yet, but CNN has been trying. They have been trying to, I don't know, report some things honestly lately, but you can clearly see sometimes when they're on the screen, they do what they do. They try to throw a little salt. They try to throw a little shade here and there. Just throw a little shade, throw a little salt in Trump's eyes just for a minute, just to let y'all know that they are in trouble. Y'all, I mean, they are in control. Y'all not in control. CNN run this. They let y'all know that y'all don't run a damn thing. All right. Shout out to you all. Don't know if y'all noticed, but I am a little nervous this morning. Would you say that reporter was? Would you say that reporter was pretty? Did you say that reporter was pretty? Look at this, big kahuna. You need to pay attention to daggone. Hey, feel free to point out how the ladies look, man. You know we do that all the time over here. I was about to tell you not to, but we do that all the time over here. You know what I mean? We make sure that we show the ladies some love. Just not too much love. Can't show the ladies too much love. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see y'all smiling faces as well in your thumbnails. And hold on one second. This is something you reminded me of when you spoke of government cheese. How in the world did I get this? All right. We are rocking and rolling, man. How's it? So far, so good. There's a lot of TDS under that pretty smile. Yes, it is a lot of TDS under that pretty. That's why she tried to throw a little bit of shade at Trump at the end of it. I don't know if y'all heard it, but she tried to throw a little shade. She tried to say, oh, they got their little win or whatever. They got their little win. You know what I mean? They probably deserved it after all the L's they've been taking. Knowing good and well, she's still salty as hell that Kamala didn't win. I would be, bruh, dude, could y'all imagine? Could y'all imagine what this country would be like right now if Kamala had won, bruh? Like, it would be so ridiculous. I'm certain that all of the left would be happy, head over heels, just enjoying all of the foolishness that's been taking place over the last 4 years. But come on, bro. Come on, man. All right, I'm done with that story, big dog. So there's another win in the back pockets of for Trump. All right, so we wanted to make sure we put that out there. And before we move on to the next story, I just want to say again, hopefully you guys have taken a moment out of your day to give God all praise, glory, and honor for another day. That's really important. I'm so serious because a lot of times we'd rather focus on our ailments or our lack or the bad times than to focus on the fact that the great majority of our lives is good, far more good than the bad. It's just for some strange reason, the bad, the setbacks, we focus on those things because that's real life. We're human beings. So we're going to definitely focus on the ailments, but at the end of the day, make sure you give God his time. Okay. Just acknowledge that, his grace and his mercy is sufficient. And if I have people in here who don't believe in God, I'm not talking to you then. You know what I mean? You can put on your earmuffs, whatever. I'm talking about God. Okay. And no, I'm not about to pass around a collection plate and order my deacons and ushers to close the doors until we make $40,000, until everybody pull out a $20 seed and bring it up to the collection plate. We're not about to do all that. But I do want to just remind you all that you are blessed. If you're able to listen to me right now, you are blessed. If you're able to see me right now, you are blessed. Continue to understand that there are so many people in this world who can't see and can't hear. And then you're able to communicate with me. You're typing, you have all the faculties, all your faculties moving properly. So it's so much to be thankful for. So I just want to remind you all, man, when you walk past that mirror, which most of us have a ton of them in our homes, when you walk past that mirror, make sure you show yourself some love. All right. Even if you don't look like what society deems as beautiful or society deems as handsome, whatever the case may be, you need to love yourself a lot more because this world is dark. And if you don't do it, then who will? You got to lead the charge. I know I do, man. When I get in front of that mirror, I'm the baddest looking mofo in the world, bro. I'm the coolest guy in the world when I'm looking in the mirror. All right. Just let y'all know, man. Start lifting yourself up. You can't really lift anybody else up if you're down in dumps and you're thinking that you're not a great person, or you're thinking you're not a smart person or not a talented person, or the world is moving ahead, is moving forward without you, and you're not doing half of the things that you wanted to do throughout your life. Forget all that. All right. So let's go on to let me see. You want to do the sixth one? Or okay, you want to do the sixth one, brother? Because we can. All right, cool. On to the next. All right, so Trump's 104% tariffs against China. All right, let's check out the effect of that. Now, let me tell y'all something. China is not going to take this sitting down. I'm just letting y'all know. China not playing with us. So, I mean, I'm thinking that we're going to reign supreme, but that's just me being, America first. That's me being America first. But we already know. Let me pull up one more thing too that I saw about this. Hold on one second. Let me find some, because it's one other thing that I saw about these tariffs that I wanted to show them as well. Okay, hold on one second. Tariff. Hold on one second, because a lot of America don't even understand this whole tariff thing. They really don't get it. They truly don't get it, man. All right. And what's wild is it's the same people, it's the same exact people who speak against it right now. It's the same exact people who are speaking against it right now. All right. Because they don't fully understand it. They don't want to understand it. I don't get why people want Trump to fail. People want Trump to fail because they know that if he do everything he said he was going to do, the likelihood of a conservative winning the election in 2028 is very high. Is extremely high, especially if they're connected to the Trump administration. So JD Vance will be a shoo-in. And I don't want to put any, you know what I mean? I don't believe in the whole bad omens or anything like that. But I want y'all to see what's going on, man, because hold on. Trump just imposed a 104%. Well, he said he's going to impose a 104% tariff against China. But check this out. Before we even show that, I want to show y'all how Kevin O'Leary said that he would call for a 400% tariff on China. So continue to play some games. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments, man. Let's go and get to it.
104% tariffs in China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, sell it back here. Never has an administration.
400% tariffs? What would that
I
look
want
like?
Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well,
I'm
hold
not
on
talking
a
about
second,
tariffs
Kevin.
on
Well,
60
I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the goods?
It's short-lived. There will be
but what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive. There's people right now who can't survive
400% tomorrow morning, cheese on an airplane to Washington to cut a deal.
See, that's that scary stuff right there. The what you call it? The main lady on CNN. Her job is to instill fear. But what about isms? What about the people who can't maintain, who can't hold off? Let me tell you something. This brother's from Sho0ting, and he's letting you know, as a businessman who does business over there, and I appreciate them for what they provide, but this is necessary. Anybody who tries to go up against the U.S., we need to let them know. We let them know that we king dingling over here. We run this. That's the only way we can do this. That's the only way we can do it. It's the only way. He's trying to teach you something here, young lady, but here she goes. She's trying to bring. So you're taxing, and she's talking about American business owners and trying to get us, make us afraid to be bold in our steps. Make us afraid to take the back seat for a moment, like We're not going to be making any profits or that much profits for just a moment, because we're used to getting our stuff dirt cheap from over there and all this other stuff, and everything we get is going to be raised. So you're trying to scare me into doing something. Sometimes as business people, you got to make bold moves. I don't know how many people out there that's in my chat are business owners or entrepreneurs, but you all know, man, we got to take some risk. And this is one of the risks we have to take. As you can clearly see, other companies, they're bowing down, bro. They recognize that what we say is law. They also recognize that their GDP depends on our money. They depend on us being their customers and consumers. They depend on that. Their whole country, they can't move without us. We make things shake. And I'm not saying that the United States should be arrogant. I'm not saying that we should move like people need to kiss our ass or nothing like that. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that Americans need to realize that when in comparison to other countries, other nations, we are the sugar honey iced tea, bro. Period. All right. I'm gonna speak more on that after I show this next story right here, but I just wanted to show y'all that, man. Here we go. This is what China's going through right now. They know that stuff is real and ain't nothing that they can do about it. It is what it is.
The US side is still imposing extreme pressure on China by imposing tariffs indiscriminately. China firmly opposes and will never accept such arrogant and bullying behavior. If the US really wants to solve the problem through dialogue and negotiations, it should show an attitude of equality, respect, and reciprocity. If the US disregards the interests of both countries and the international community and insists on waging a tariff war and trade war, China will definitely retaliate.
Okay.
I'm pro ball Alonzo.
Okay, so they saying China will definitely retaliate. We already know. Hold on one second. This thing is still playing. I try to remove it. These things are wild, bro. Like once they give me something to play on these websites, bro, they just keep god daggone playing. And I'm like, shut it down, son. Shut it down. China steals American dreams. Thank you so much for the super chat, PG-13. Much appreciated, my brother. And also, you said that the reporter on CNN looks like a reptilian. Hey, we're not here to poke fun of people. Hold on. Is this now? Before we move on from this story of the tariffs, I will say this. I want to say this. I ain't got no issue with China fighting back. I don't have an issue with any country putting their country first. Not at all. I think that's what we're supposed to do. If you don't do that, then you're doing a disservice to your country. That's just how I look at things. But hold on one second. Countries. There's one other thing that I wanted to show y'all that I thought I already had saved to my X page, but I need y'all to see this, bro, because I thought this joint was so dope. Hold on one second. How y'all doing out there? Y'all good? Y'all good? Y'all straight? Y'all straight because you cool? You cool because you straight? All right. Hold on one second. Yeah. Hold on one second. Where is it? Let me see here. Where is it? God dang it, Van. Let me see here. Because last I checked, most of the other countries that we're dealing with, they've bowed down, but they've buckled already. I'm talking about in Peru, Nicaragua, Norway, Costa Rica, Jordan, Dominican Republic, United Arab Emirates, New Zealand, Argentina, Ecuador, Guatemala, Honduras, Madagascar, Myanmar, Tunisia, Kazakhstan, Serbia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, El Salvador, Botswana, Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, Morocco, and the list goes on and on. At the end of the day, we got to continue to apply pressure. And because these guys have been imposing tariffs on us for a long time, and we've been allowing them to do it, it's almost like we did not give a damn at all. It's like we didn't care. And what's wild is you have people like Chuck Schumer, the Pelosi's, and everybody's saying that we're being too bullish in how we're doing things, because that's all they say about Trump. Trump is a bully. Trump continues to try to force his power and his will on people. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. If you're going to establish yourself as a world power, world leader, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. I don't know if you've seen this video of Chuck Schumer back in 2005 talking about this same exact topic we're discussing when it comes to tariffs in China. But I want y'all to hear the rhetoric that comes from him, because whenever it's their idea, whenever they're vying for something, they're cool with it. They're 1000% cool with it. But when the other side does it, then they want to find a reason to make it bad. Check this out right here. This was from 2005. Chuck Schumer, and y'all already know this dude he's like a mosquito on Trump's ass, just irritating. And speaking of mosquitoes, man, it's about that time, bro. That's the only thing I do not like about this time of the year, summer that's coming, is mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, I still don't understand their purpose in life. I know they have a purpose, but God dang, I don't like mosquitoes. Ain't nothing you can tell me about a mosquito that would make me like a mosquito. Let's get back to the tariffs.
It says to the Chinese, enough already. It says to the Chinese that their unfair trade policies have got to end. It says to the Chinese, this is a shot across your bow. Reform, because if you don't, there are going to be dramatic consequences throughout the world, in our country, and in your country as well. The bottom line is very simple, Mr. President. The Chinese have enjoyed a huge trade surplus with the United States, as this chart shows. Every year, it gets larger and larger and larger. Admittedly, some of that trade surplus is due to the rules of free trade. But much of that trade surplus is because the Chinese don't play fair. They don't let our goods into their country. I can tell you company after company in New York who cannot sell goods in China, or can only sell the goods under certain conditions that make it impossible for them to sell them. The Chinese make no effort to prevent the ripping off of our intellectual property. These are our crown jewels, the thinking, the great creativity, the great entrepreneurialness of the American business community is just taken, and they shrug their shoulders. And worst of all, the Chinese, despite the fact that they have tremendous advantages by the rules of free trade, pile on and add unfair rules that violate free trade. And at the top of that list is the fact that the Chinese peg their currency abnormally low so that their exports get a 27% advantage here in the United States. Our imports get a 27% disadvantage when sold in China. Every tenet of free trade, if you believe in it, says they should not peg their currency. And Senator Graham and I have forborne. We were asked by the administration last year, let us negotiate. I agree, negotiating would be better. but nothing happened.
All right, so we got Chuck Schumer back then wanting us to be more bullish with China because it served him well then. Now it does not. I have this other video that I want to share with you guys about the about Trump's economic plan. This is not it right here. I have another video that's on another screen. Let me go and pull that bad boy up of this young man breaking down Trump's economic plan. I don't know if y'all have seen this yet, but check this out, man. I think this is absolutely brilliant. Make sure you hit the like button, guys, if you have not already, because a lot of people do not understand Trump's tariffs, or they don't understand tariffs at all. But the fact that Trump is the one, President Trump is the one that's that introduced this topic to American citizens, especially while we were going through the process trying to figure out if we wanted a black woman to be the president. Hold on one second. My wife is calling me. 1 second. Hey, babe. All right, got a call from the lady. Check this out, gang. And make sure if you have not hit the like button already, please make sure you hit the like button. This brother is about to break down Trump's economic plan, and he's going to let y'all know why it makes complete. Well, common sense ain't common anymore. So I guess some people are offended when you talk about common sense because they just choose not to lean in that direction. They rather go with their emotions. They rather go to the dock end of the pool. All right. But we need to bring back some common sense. Make common sense great again, god dang it.
Whatever you think of Trump, his economic plan makes complete sense. The US has 36 trillion in debt. In 2025, they will spend 6 trillion, but will only collect 4 trillion in revenue. So they need to borrow 2 trillion, and this will increase their debt to 38 trillion. Trump economic plan is based on 3 levers. Number 1, cut expenses by 1 trillion, which is Doge, Elon Musk. He's targeting waste and fraud, like social security payments for people who are 150 years old. That is just fraud. 2, increasing revenue by 1 to 2 trillion through, number 1, tariffs. They will increase tariffs from 50 billion to 500 billion target. People will say, but other countries will retaliate. They will not be able to do it. The US is the biggest customer on earth. They consume 20 trillion every year.
Yeah, I heard that part right there, right? They cannot do it. We are the biggest customer on earth. We feed the world by consuming their products and services. This is what we do. Will we hurt a little bit? Yeah, we will hurt a little bit too at first, but give us time. In order to build anything, you got to go through something. You already know that. All right, let's go.
They are the biggest importer. They import 3 trillion every year. Plus, the current tariffs is actually not fair. Why should US cars entering Europe faces 10% tariffs, while the European cars entering the US just pay 2.5%? It's not fair. And because of the tariff changes, it now makes economic sense to build factories and businesses inside the US again. That means more jobs, means tax-paying businesses, and more foreign investment coming in. He will also increase revenue by deregulation. He will remove unnecessary regulations and rules, making it easier to do business, so business can grow faster, generate more tax revenues. He also make this gold card, which is offering lifetime US residency for 5 million. I think at least 1 or 2 million individuals globally can afford it. So if just 10% of them, if just 100,000 people buy this card, that's 1 trillion in incremental revenue. The third lever is he will reduce taxes. If he successfully cut 1 trillion in waste and expenses and add 1 to 2 trillion in revenue, the US will have a surplus. They will have more money than they want. So he will cut taxes. For individuals, anyone gaining more than 150K, he will make them pay 0 taxes. And on corporate taxes, he will go down from the current 21% to 15%, compared to the European average of 22%. France average is 25, I think, and Germany is 30. So at 15% corporate tax, the US will become one of the most business attractive countries on earth. Bottom line, this is exactly how a government should be run, efficiently. Because when you eliminate waste, the money can actually go where it is actually needed, to the elderly, to the sick, to people who cannot work. And that is the real purpose of government, to protect the weak. Very few countries have the political will to do it. It takes leaders with backbone, charisma, and clarity of vision. Do you have leaders in your country pushing for real reform, or are they talking about non-relevant side topics? And let me know if you think Trump plan is bad. Let me know why, because I think it is just common sense.
Sometimes you need somebody to break it down for you. That's it. That's all this brother is doing. He's just breaking it down to us. Exactly how it goes. You know what I mean? It's just common sense. Save our money for American citizens. Make more money here, build up the factories and manufacturing that's necessary. We don't have the people that can do the jobs. We haven't had the people that were doing the jobs. Do not mean that we don't have the people who can do the jobs. They're already posting things. It was a satirical video that was just now posted on X. I don't know if y'all saw it, but it was like the Chinese were making fun of Americans, pretty much saying that us being in shops and or inside of warehouses and sewing our own shirts and hats and things is pretty much beneath us because we're Americans. Like, we're just too above board to do those types of jobs. I don't know if y'all have seen it before, but let me just put this on your lap because this came across my feed. And I said, as soon as I saw it, I said I wanted to share it with you all. Now, this was created. I don't know if this was created with and it's funny when you first look at it too, because I can't imagine this happening, but shout out to AI for allowing us to be able to see how this goes, man. But that young man, he just now broke it down. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. And if you haven't hit the like button already, please make sure you do so. But this is just satire and what it will look like when we're trying to create the products here that we usually outsource to other countries because it's super dirt cheap. So now this is Americans building those things. Y'all can't look at this and say it's not funny. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I cannot picture y'all doing that. I don't look. This brother is making some bras, and he don't look like he's enjoying it at all. And they're making phones, and it makes it seem like a lowly job that American citizens can't do. That's not the case at all. What we need to get back to, the times where a job is a job, a career is a career. If it feeds our family, then there's honor in it. That's what we need to get back to. But we're already looking at it as spoiled Americans are going to be the employees that are going to create these, make these items and make these phones and whatnot. So we're going to have to pay them way more than what other people are paid. Okay, then pay them way more. If you have to lift the price of certain things. But at the end of the day, it's our fault. It's our fault. It really is. Companies have been taking advantage of us for a long time. They really have. When we think about when cell phones first came out, we were paying $200 for a cell phone, $50 for a cell phone sometimes. Now people are walking around with $1,000 cell phones in their pockets, and it's cheaper to make them, but for some strange reason, the price for us to buy them is the cost is going up and up and up and up and up. I'm not an expert in this. I do realize there's a whole bunch of different things that go into creating these items. So I'm not even going to speak to them. I'm going to speak to that ad nauseum, but I'm just saying, I don't think it's above us to do anything. I don't think it's above us to get out there in the farms and do what we need to do, because Jasmine Crockett says that it is beneath us to get out there in the farm. It is beneath us to do the jobs that we could have easily paid all of them illegal immigrants pennies to do, but we're sending all of the free help home. Yeah. And when you think about it, that's kind of racist to say. Because when she was talking, she was actually at a church. She was at a church talking, and she was just doing her little comedic thing. And she was like, come on, how many of y'all are going to get out there and pick the cotton? I know I'm not. I don't know no other black person that's going to get out there and pick no cotton. So you might as well bring the illegals over here and let them pick the cotton. They go straight to the picking the cotton, because y'all already know what that represents. That represents slavery, right? So that's where we are right now. We're just trying to figure out the most commonsensical way to properly run our government, to run our nation, to make sure that we reestablish ourselves as the superpower. All right. So, guys, that was the LFR Family Morning Show. Y'all, please let me know what y'all thought about it. All right. And don't forget, if you haven't hit that like button already, I'm going to need you to do so. Hit that like button. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And if you want to do something extra generous for the channel, consider sharing this video by hitting the share button below. Hitting the share button below, copying the link and sharing it on Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook groups, X, or wherever else you can share it. And if you share it on X, please make sure you tag me so I can show you some love. Shout out to everybody who submitted a super chat, everybody who chatted respectfully with one another this morning. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody who clicked play and allowed me to share a moment with you on your ride to work, or while you're chilling in your home, or wherever you are. I really appreciate that. That means the world to me. All right. You could have been doing anything else with your time, but you decided to hang out with me for a little bit. So that does mean that does mean a lot to me. I really appreciate it. But like this says, like, share, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. Subscribe. All right. And I really enjoyed it. I'm not really a morning person, but this right here was actually fun. This was actually fun. Much love goes out to Treebeard. Shout out to him. He's inside of it. He said kind of racist. No, precisely racist. Yes. Precisely racist. Precisely racist. But thank you, Treebeard. I appreciate you, big dog. And for everybody who pulled up, thank you so much. But be sure to let me know what y'all thought about the morning show. If this is something that you would like to see on a daily basis, we can make that happen. But I want to make sure that you guys actually enjoyed it. If you did not, then this will not move forward. If you did, then we would definitely consider it. And for everybody considering doing content creation, I want y'all to check out this next ad, because it's about our YouTube course that's inside the link. I want as many of you to grab that course as possible before. And I don't want to make this seem weird or nothing, but the prices are about to go up very soon. I said that the prices were going to go up after 100 people purchase the course. Right now we have over 115 people who purchased the course, and we have like 87. How many people are in our Facebook group now? Our Facebook group is really coming along. Let me see how many people are in there right now. 89 people inside of that Facebook group, dog. Yeah. Hold on. Let me show y'all this right here. I got to show y'all this, man. Here's the private Facebook group. I'm excited about this, man. Check this out. 89 people inside the private group. All right. Inside of the private group. So shout out to LFR Family Content Creators. We are doing it big, man. Don't think that we not. We cooking. We cooking with grease. And if y'all want to be a content creator under the LFR family umbrella, make sure you grab that course. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's inside this ad right here. Love y'all. See you next time. We have been helping people grow online. It has been absolutely amazing. We have helped many content creators get from zero to monetization in under 30 days. We even have a couple of these superstars who did it in 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to learn how to do YouTube, I don't care your age, I don't care what skills or talents you have. Trust me, I can help you do it effortlessly. Just reach out to me with the word coach and we can get it done. One more thing. We have a YouTube course that I just now created. I'm extremely proud of, and a lot of people are getting so much from. Purchase that course and work with us. You can join our private Facebook group and our daily group calls, which is 3 to 5 days per week, and you can learn so much more than you've ever learned before. I can't wait to hear from you. Love you. Peace.